The Oreo, which holds the title of the most popular cookie worldwide, is likely familiar to you due to the customary practices of twisting, licking, and dunking it. However, only a small number of individuals are aware of the intriguing and lesser-known aspects of its past. This is due to the fact that numerous secrets surrounding the cookie have remained concealed for well over a century. To begin with, the cookie itself was initially created as an imitation product, featuring a filling of questionable origin. Get ready for an exciting exploration of the captivating history of Oreo cookies. During the 19th century, there were two cousins named Thomas Vicker who operated a small factory called T&T Vickers in Lancaster, England. The primary focus of their factory was designing and constructing machinery used for product-shipped biscuits. These biscuits, consisting of flour, salt, and water, were intentionally made extremely hard to ensure their durability over long periods, as they serve as essential sustenance for sailors and soldiers during extended voyages. Although they lacked flavor and required soaking in liquid to be consumed, the demand for these biscuits persisted for many years. However, a shift occurred with the advent of steamships and the conclusion of the Civil War. The need for biscuits capable of enduring lengthy voyages decreased, coinciding with a decline in the cost of sugar. As a result, there emerged a demand for sweet biscuits. Recognizing this evolving trend, the Vickers cousins foresaw the eventual obsolescence of their factory if they didn't adapt. Since their existing machinery was solely suitable for producing shipped biscuits, they decided to take a risk and develop new machines capable of manufacturing sweet biscuits instead. Their decision proved fruitful as sweet biscuits gained popularity throughout England and even became a luxury product. The United States quickly caught on to this emerging trend and began importing machines to produce their own sweet biscuits. Subsequently, numerous manufacturers including Jacob and Joseph Luce, two brothers from Mercersburg, Pennsylvania, capitalized on the opportunities presented by the flourishing industry. Remarkably, Jacob and Joseph embarked on this venture at a young age of 16. Jacob Lewis made the decision to drop out of high school and take up a position as a clerk at a dry goods store, where he earned a modest income of $5 per week. Within a few years, he managed to save enough money to embark on his entrepreneurial journey by opening his own store. As time passed, Jacob's business flourished, leading him to open a second location. Filled with confidence, he ventured into other business endeavors. Eventually, Jacob identified a promising opportunity in Kansas, Missouri. He took over a small family-operated bakery that specialized in producing biscuits and candies. With a strong intuition that the baking industry would continue to thrive, Jacob convinced his brother, Joseph, who also ran his own dry goods store, to join him as a business partner. The Lewis brothers combined their savings, acquired the bakery, and established it as the Lewis Brothers Manufacturing Company. Within a short span of time, the Lewis brothers successfully transformed their venture into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. While this accomplishment was undoubtedly impressive, Jacob felt a sense of dissatisfaction. Other industries such as oil and steel were gaining significant capital through a novel practice known as conglomerating. This involved merging multiple businesses to operate as a single entity, an approach unheard of in the food industry. Jacob believed that this strategy could be effective in the baking sector, as it would enable bakeries to procure large quantities of wheat and directly contract with farmers. To pursue this vision, Jacob enlisted the services of a lawyer named Adolphus Green to serve as his general counsel and persuade other bakeries in the Midwest to form a conglomerate. Despite Adolphus lacking legal experience in the food industry, he successfully orchestrated the union of 35 bakeries under the name of the American Biscuit Company. This conglomerate thrived, prompting bakeries in other regions to establish their own conglomerates as well. Following the establishment of rival conglomerates, namely the New York Biscuit Company and the United States Baking Company, a fierce and bitter was erupted between them. This intense competition resulted in a significant 40% drop in biscuit prices across the industry and pushed the American Biscuit Company to the brink of collapse. The strain of the struggle for survival began to take its toll on Jacob. leading him to fall seriously ill. As a consequence, he was compelled to step down from his position as president of the American Biscuit Company. Seeking recovery, Jacob embarked on a trip to Europe, leaving Joseph in charge of the company. Joseph, having grown weary of the bitter war against their rivals, prioritized finding a way to make peace. He conceived a grand and lucrative idea that mirrored his brother's previous footsteps, forming a conglomerate with the New York Biscuit Company and the United States Baking Company. Despite Jacob's objections, conveyed through a letter, Joseph disregarded his brother's pleas and, with the assistance of Adolphus, succeeded in merging the company with its rival conglomerates. In a joint effort, they established the largest baking conglomerate in America, known as the National Biscuit Company, or Nabisco, which later underwent a name change. However, Joseph's celebration was short-lived as he soon discovered a grave mistake. Adolphus had taken advantage of the situation and manipulated the paperwork, appointing himself as the president of Nabisco while relegating the Luz brothers to mere board members. With Adolphus in control, he now held the reins of the largest baking company in the country. When Jacob received this disheartening news, he felt powerless. Determined to seek revenge, he pushed himself to recover. In an exclusive revelation, a few years following the merger, Jacob's health gradually improved. He reconciled with Joseph and, together with a businessman named John Wiles, they established a new company called the Luz Wiles Biscuit Company. Meanwhile, Adolphus had propelled Nabisco's growth through a groundbreaking invention, an inner sealed package. This packaging innovation consisted of a wax paper sleeve that securely held the biscuits within a cardboard container. Unlike the traditional method of selling biscuits from barrels, which made them prone to breakage and spoilage, Nabisco sealed packages ensured that the biscuits remained fresh and could be shipped nationwide. The wax paper effectively prevented air and moisture from compromising the quality of the product. To effectively compete with Adolphus and Nabisco, Joseph realized he needed to introduce his own groundbreaking invention. He set out to create a product that differentiated itself from Nabisco's offerings, and he chose to launch a type of sweet cake that is now famously known as a cookie. However, at the time, cookies were considered a luxury item affordable only to the wealthy. Joseph aimed to develop a recipe that would not only make his cookies delicious, but also affordable for a wider audience. After numerous unsuccessful attempts, Joseph decided to tap into a new trend sweeping across America: chocolate. He believed that by incorporating cocoa into his recipe, he would be closer to creating a truly innovative product that set itself apart from the majority of cookies made solely with sugar and butter. This idea led to the development of a recipe that combined two novel elements: the use of cocoa powder as an ingredient and the sandwiching of a vanilla filling between two cookies. To efficiently produce his cookies and give them an elegant appearance, Joseph utilized a new invention by TNT Vickers, a machine capable of cutting up to 80 cookies per minute while embossing intricate patterns on each one. Joseph selected a design featuring a laurel wreath and a genus of flowering plants called Oreo Daphne. Once Joseph perfected his recipe, he and Jacob began brainstorming names that would resonate with the American market. During that period, Americans had growing concerns about the purity of food products. It had become common practice for companies to add fillers, like chalk and brick dust, to their products in order to reduce costs and maximize profits. To address this widespread issue, Congress enacted a food purity law. With the prevailing problem in mind, the Luz brothers engaged in brainstorming sessions to generate names that would evoke a sense of purity. They associated purity with water, considering it the purest substance, and combined its components, hydrogen and oxygen, to create a name Hydrox. Interestingly, other companies in various industries were also utilizing the same name for their products, including Hydrox Ice Cream, Hydrox Ginger Ale, and Hydrox Root Beer. However, the Luz brothers' cookies stood out as a novelty when they were introduced, captivating the public's attention. As Hydrox gained popularity, Nabisco's profits began to decline, prompting Adolphus to grow increasingly fearful and desperate. He embarked on a mission to develop his own sensational cookie. This competing product followed a similar concept of sandwiching a vanilla filling between two cookies and featured a laurel wreath design. Allegedly, Nabisco named it Oreo, drawing inspiration from the genus of flowering plants embossed on the cookie. By the time Nabisco launched Oreo, Hydrox had already established itself as one of the most beloved cookies in America and had even earned the nickname the King of Biscuits. Many Americans appreciated that Hydrox was among the first products to receive kosher certification, further enhancing its appeal. Hydrox enthusiasts are often independent thinkers, favoring underdogs, and exhibiting skepticism towards corporate marketing. Even with the resurgence of Hydrox, these individuals remain loyal and steadfast, unwilling to switch sides. In the meantime, Nabisco continued its growth trajectory, establishing itself as one of the largest baking companies worldwide. Little did they know that an unexpected outsider would step forward to carry on the legacy of Loose Wilds. In the early 2000s, a tech recruiter named Elia Kassoff embarked on a quest at his local Smart and Final store in Southern California. His mission was to find a box of one of his cherished childhood candies, Astro Pops. These aerodynamic-shaped lollipops, created by two rocket scientists in the 1960s, were renowned worldwide for their distinctive design. However, for several months, they had vanished from the shelves of Smart and Final. And Elias' latest visit yielded no different results. Disappointed, he inquired about the candy with the store staff and received an unexpected revelation. Astro Pops had been discontinued. While most people might have to let it go, Elia was not like most individuals. His connection to the confectionery industry ran deep. His aunt, Doris Kassoff, had married Ed Leaf, who met her at a USO dance following World War II. Ed's father and uncles had founded Leaf Brands nearly a century ago, a company responsible for iconic treats such as Jolly Ranchers, Whoppers, Milk Duds, and others. As a child, Elia cherished his summer visits to family in New York, where he received candy samples from his Uncle Ed. Candy held a special significance for Elia. It represented his family's legacy. Determined to preserve his favorite lollipop, Astro Pops, he contacted the company responsible for its production, Spangler. When they revealed that Astro Pops had been discontinued, Elia impulsively proposed buying the rights to save the beloved treat. Spangler agreed, and Elia embarked on a journey to revive not just Astro Pops, but other discontinued childhood favorites under the Leaf brand's name. With the success of relaunching several products, Elia set his sights on resurrecting Hydrox, a beloved cookie. However, the Hydrox trademark was owned by Kellogg, presenting a significant obstacle. Elia wrote a letter to Kellogg's, inquiring about the availability of Hydrox cookies. Their response confirmed that Hydrox had been discontinued, further motivating Elia to fight for the trademark. He applied for the Hydrox trademark, eventually obtaining the rights. But the challenges didn't end there. Elia faced the task of recreating the original Hydrox recipe. Through a combination of resourcefulness and collaboration with former Sunshine's Biscuit CEO, food scientists, and passionate Hydrox fans, they successfully recreated the recipe. A year later, Hydrox was relaunched, much to the delight of its dedicated fanbase. Meanwhile, Nabisco, now Mandalas, faced its own decline. Donald Trump, then a president candidate, announced a boycott of Oreo after learning about Mandala's layoffs and relocation of production to Mexico. Revelations about the use of hydrogenated oil instead of lard in Oreo's kosher version further tarnished the company's reputation. Elia's revival of Hydrox coincided with the Mandala's downfall, highlighting the contrasting paths the two brands had taken. Leaf Brand successfully produced Hydrox cookies without low-quality ingredients like hydrogenated oil, unlike their competitor, Mandalas. The media also exposed allegations that the FDA prohibited Mandalas from using the term cream to market Oreo due to its lack of the ingredient. Despite facing challenges, when Elia relaunched Hydrox, it gained significant popularity, generating sales of around $500,000. However, a Walmart buyer warned Elia about Mandala's tactics. They reportedly hid Hydrox products on store shelves to hinder their success. Elia took legal action, filing complaints and seeking damages. Many customers shared similar experiences, confirming the aggressive behavior of Mandalas. Despite the obstacles, Elia remained determined, continuing to sell Hydrox on platforms like Amazon. He advised other entrepreneurs to pursue their passions and remain dedicated, emphasizing the importance of belief in one's mission. This is the story of an American invention and the individuals who fought against corporate giants to preserve it, the world's best-selling cookie. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Business Central. We hope you enjoyed delving into the fascinating world of business with us. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. Stay connected with us. Like, comment, subscribe to our channel, and click that notification bell so you won't miss a video. Stay inspired, stay informed, and keep making waves in the world of business. See you in the next one.